What's going on, Miami Dolphins fans? Welcome to the Fins Up Network. It's Ben Morgan, and we're back today with the top keys to victory for that Sunday night football game against the LA Chargers. But before I get into mine, I want to hear from you. What are your top keys to victory for that Sunday night football matchup against the LA Chargers? And also, before I get into mine, if you have any questions that you would like addressed on the Saturday morning final preview and prediction show for that Dolphins Chargers game, go ahead and drop those in the comments as well. You guys have been crushing it with those questions. Keep bringing those good ones. I will continue to get to as many as possible on that Saturday morning final preview and prediction video. But let's jump into some top keys to the victory today, because the number one thing I've got for that Chargers offense is an eye on Ekeler. Obviously, their running back, Austin Ekeler, dude is a fantasy monster for any fantasy players out there, like RB1 right now. But he gets it done, obviously, in real life as well. If you think about our team now, like our history against running backs this year, we've done pretty well. There's that misleading stat that yards per game, like rushing yards allowed per game, Dolphins aren't statistically very well, but we all know the story. It's because of Josh Allen, it's Lamar Jackson, it's Justin Fields. All those scrambling quarterbacks just took advantage of us. But the Dalvin Cooks of the world, the Nick Chubbs of the world, the Damian Pierces of the world, we've done a pretty damn good job containing those guys. But Eckler's different. I'm not as really concerned about Eckler on the ground. It's through the air. You always need to be aware of where this guy is. He leads the Chargers with 85 receptions on 104 targets. Now, to put that into perspective, Tyreek Hill has more targets. Jalen Waddle has 90. Austin Ekeler has 14 more targets this year than Jalen Waddle. He leads all NFL running backs with 564 receiving yards. He's got 12 total touchdowns. But I talk about his rushing because he's only eclipsed 48 rushing yards once in the last 7 games. But the receiving, that's just consistent. That is this team's go-to. It's just constant, which is scary against our linebackers, because you know how our linebackers do in coverage, especially against these dual threat running backs. Look at what just happened against Christian McCaffrey. He's kind of that Austin Ekeler mold where he doesn't just do it on the ground. He's getting it done through the air as well. He was pretty damn good against us. 8 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown. And now we faced Austin Ekeler, who has had double-digit receptions as a running back in 3 games this season. As a running back, double-digit receptions. And he's had fewer than 6 targets in just 3 of 12 games this season. So there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of focus, obviously, on Justin Herbert, because the Tua comps, both selected in the top 6 of the 2020 NFL draft. The Dolphins took Tua one position ahead of Herbert. That's going to be the billing of the game. That's the headline of the game. That's the marquee. You're going to see Herbert and Tua on every single billboard and I should say graphic now. Come on, it's 2022, Ben. Get with the times. Every single graphic you see is going to be Tua and Herbert. But right now, Austin Ekeler is my top Chargers offensive player to key in on. Let's go on to the second one I've got here, and it's stick to what got you here. Look, we're 8-4 with upcoming 3 straight nationally televised games. Obviously, the Sunday night game here against the Chargers, the Saturday night game against the Bills, and then you got Christmas Day back at home against the Packers. This is what we want. 3 meaningful televised games, meaningful December Miami Dolphins football games. When's the last time you heard that? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. If I would have given you 8-4 at this point in the season, in the offseason, most of us would have been taking that. I feel pretty safe to say that. Now, what I'm saying is this is not the time to overreact to the result from last week, because what did we see? We saw Tua finally have some accuracy issues, some timing issues with the wide receivers. I'm here to tell you not to overreact. Now, do we want to run the ball more than 8 times? I'm cool with that. The balance that we had in that game against the Browns, that'd be great to have again as well. And if you look at the Chargers against the run, they give up the 4th most rushing yards per game against the run. However, I don't know if that's an outright indicator, a dictator as to what the game plan is going to entail. Because think about a few weeks ago. We played the Houston Texans, league worst rush defense. What did we do? We threw the ball, I think, 34 times in the first half? Mike McDaniel has kind of proven that just because one team is good at something, we're not going to completely change the game plan just because of what a team ends up doing. So keep an eye on that. Obviously, I want some balance in this game, but we don't need to overreact. We don't need to overcorrect. What got us here? Tua, Waddle, Hill. That got us here. There's no reason to shake Tua's confidence. And I say shake confidence very, very lightly, very loosely. One game, let's just say we run the ball a lot against the Chargers. I don't think that's going to overkill anything with Tua. That's not going to shake his confidence. Look at what this kid's been through. The last 2 years with Brian Flores, the being pulled for Ryan Fitzpatrick, the Deshaun Watson rumors, every single rumor that's been going on. Go back to his college days. Oh, why don't you pop into the national championship in the second half and throw a game winner to Devontae Smith? The dude's been through a lot. He's not going to shake his confidence if we run the ball a little bit more in this game. But what I'm saying is end of the day, keep doing what you're doing. Let that offense run through Tua. We saw that these pass plays were going to work against the 49ers. Don't change anything too damn drastically. We have the first and fifth leading wide receivers in the NFL still for a reason. Stick to who you are. Stick to what got you here. That's Tua, Waddle, Hill. Number 3, stay alert. Because what do I mean by this? Look at the Chargers. It is desperation time. They are 6-6. They just lost to the Raiders. They've lost 3 of their last 4, and they've damn near lost all of their last 4 games if it wasn't for a last-second touchdown against the Arizona Cardinals. Now look at where they are in the playoff seeds. Currently the number 9 seed in the AFC playoff picture. So everything is up for grabs for them. Everything is on the table. And you look at their head coach, Brandon Staley. What is he most famous for? What's he most known for? It's that willingness to kind of be a wild card, to go for it on 4th down. So expect no hesitation going forward on 4th down in any situation at any point in time during this game. 6-6, they got to get some wins. But there's the additional things. There's the fake punts. We've seen the Lions execute one against us earlier this year. There's trick plays. Like I said, every single thing is on the table right now this week because it is do or die for those Chargers. If they lose this week, if they get up to 7 losses, you can start smelling some blood in the water. It's probably trouble time for them. But if they can beat us on Sunday, they have got a chance because look at the rest of their season schedule. It's not terribly difficult. You've got the Titans, the Rams, the Colts, and the Broncos. Titans are a little bit tricky. Rams don't have a quarterback, and they're already talking about maybe starting Baker Mayfield already yet this week. Colts just got dismantled by the Cowboys, and the Broncos are probably one of the most underperforming teams with the most highest expectations to literally do nothing this year. Those are all winnable games. Winning out would put them at 11 wins. So we need to be alert. We need to expect literally anything from this team because they're going to be playing just with nothing. With everything's. This is it. This is their season. They're essentially in the playoffs at this point in time because a loss kind of kills them. So that's what I'm saying. Stay focused. Stay on task. And don't let yourself get tricked by any single thing that might be up their sleeve. Stay alert. Like I said, though, Dolphins fans, those are my top keys to victory, but I would like to hear yours as well. So make sure you are dropping those in the comments. And like I said to start this, if you have any questions that you would like answered on that Saturday final preview and prediction video, drop those in the comments as well. We will get as many of those added as possible. But those are my top keys. Let's hear yours. And until next time, Dolphins fans, fins up.